Let me guess, you're busy running your business, managing employees, juggling compliance rules and other laws, and someone just asked if you have an employee handbook. You're thinking, do I really need one? I'm not a Fortune 500 company. Hi, I'm Jordan Held. I'm an attorney at Kreis Enderle, and I'm here to tell you, yes, you probably do need an employee handbook, but maybe not for the reasons you might think. This isn't about bureaucracy or jumping through HR hoops. It's about protecting your business, reducing your legal risk, and giving your team clarity. And the best part? It's not as painful as it sounds, especially when you have the right legal partner. Let's start with the big misconception that only large businesses need formal HR policies. That's just not true. If you have even one employee, your business is subject to state, federal, and sometimes local employment laws. And those laws are evolving all the time. A handbook is one of the few tools that helps you stay ahead of the curve and document your intent to follow the rules. Think of it like this. Without a handbook, you're driving blind. Your managers are making decisions on the fly. Your employees are guessing what the rules are. And when a conflict happens, because eventually it will, you will have no written reference point. That's a bad place to be when someone files a complaint or hires a lawyer. Let's say you fire an employee for repeated lateness. They turn around and file a claim saying you discriminated against them based on a protected category, maybe race, age, or disability. One of the first things a judge or investigator will ask, did the employer have a policy on attendance? Was it applied fairly and consistently? If you have a well-drafted handbook, you can show that your attendance policy is clear, the employee was aware of it, the policy was enforced consistently. That turns a potential legal headache into a closed case. Now imagine the same situation without a handbook. It's your word versus theirs. That's a much riskier and more expensive and time-consuming fight. A strong handbook isn't just a template. It's tailored to your business and your obligations under Michigan law. At a minimum, your handbook should include at-will employment disclaimer, is a must-have in Michigan, anti-harassment and anti-discrimination policies, wage and hour compliance, including breaks and overtime rules, leave policies, including Michigan Earned Sick Time Act and FMLA if applicable, discipline and termination procedures, remote work expectations if you allowed hybrid or work from home setups, use of company equipment and technology, think emails, cell phones, social media, confidentiality and data protection, and any additional language to show you understand your specific obligations if you're in a regulated industry. But it's not just what you include, it's how you say it. The language matters. You don't want legal jargon employees won't understand, but you also don't want vague policies that won't hold up under scrutiny. A few common mistakes we see all the time are copying a template from the internet. These aren't tailored to your business and may include outdated or conflicting language. Worse, they can actually create liability. 2. Failing to update the handbook. If your policies haven't been reviewed in the last 12 to 18 months, something's probably already out of compliance. Michigan law changes, so does federal law. So should your handbook. 3. Not distributing it properly. Handbooks aren't just for show. You need to prove employees received it and acknowledged it, and that means collecting signed acknowledgments and keeping them on file. 4. Treating it like a rule book instead of a communication tool. A handbook is part of your brand. It sets the tone. When done right, it shows that you're professional, organized, and respectful of your employees' rights and responsibilities. Here's what business owners often miss. A good handbook isn't just a legal shield. It's an operational asset. It streamlines onboarding. It reduces confusion and inconsistent practices. It frees up your time by answering routine employee questions before they even reach your desk. It builds trust with your team because people know what to expect. When your team knows the rules, you avoid drama. You avoid miscommunication. You also avoid the compliance issues that keep business owners up at night. At Kreis Enderle, we work with Michigan businesses every day to create customized, legally sound employee handbooks that actually work. We get to know your business, your culture, and your goals, and then we draft a policy that reflects all three. If you already have a handbook, we can review it and ensure it is consistent and current with the latest Michigan and federal law. If you don't have one yet, we'll walk through the process from start to finish. Give us a call. Let's make sure your policies support your people and protect your business.